Hello, future travelers. Welcome back to Legalopolis. Friends, did you know that B-2 visas can be quite versatile, covering both leisure and specific activities? But it also comes with strict rules and a fine line between what's allowed and what's off limits. Join me as I dive into the world of B-2 visas to uncover exactly what you can and cannot really do with one, helping you understand the limitations and opportunities it presents. So, let's get started and clear up the confusion. On a B-2 visa, the US permits activities mainly related to tourism, leisure, and non work purposes. Here's a breakdown of what's allowed. Number one, tourism and vacation, that is, holidaying. So, on the B2 visa, travelers can explore cities, visit national parks, and enjoy other tourist destinations. This is the primary purpose of the B2 visa. In the context of the B2 visa, tourism and vacationing can often overlap and can be distinguished by their primary focus and activities. Tourism generally refers to traveling and seeing and experiencing specific attractions, landmarks, or cultural sites in different locations. It emphasizes exploration and visiting notable places. For example, a tourist visiting US might have a set itinerary that includes sightseeing at famous landmarks like the Golden Gate Bridge, Yellowstone National Park, or historical sites in Washington, D.C. They may join guided tours, visit museums, or attend cultural events. So, the focus here is on experiencing the destination's attractions, history, culture, and beauty. On the other hand, vacationing is more focused on relaxation and leisure. It might involve staying in one place to unwind without an extensive schedule or agenda. For example, somebody on a vacation might stay at a beach resort in Florida, spending most of their time relaxing by the pool or on the beach, going to spas, enjoying recreational activities like reading, dining, and slight sightseeing. The focus here is more on rest and leisure rather than exploring multiple destinations. So friends, if you are traveling to United States for shopping, then it would fall under the category of tourism purposes because shopping is seen as a leisure activity related to exploring local culture and attraction, which aligns with tourism under the B2 visa. Number two, visiting friends or relatives. You can visit family or friends who reside in the United States without any work obligations or commitments. For example, a woman from India travels to California to visit her sister and her family. She spends a few weeks with them, attending family gatherings and enjoying time together before returning back to India. Number three, medical treatment. If someone needs medical care, or a specialized treatment that isn't easily available in their home country, they can enter the United States on a B2 visa for this purpose. However, they may need to show proof of the medical treatment plan and their financial resources to cover the cost. Number four, participation in social events hosted by organizations. Now, visitors can attend gatherings, conventions, or social events hosted by organizations like fraternities, social clubs, or service groups. These events often include ceremonies, conventions, meetings for cultural or social purposes. Now, let's understand what these words mean. Fraternities are groups of people with shared interests or goals. They are often found in colleges where students join to make friends, learn together, and support each other. Some fraternities are for life, and members stay connected even after college. Social clubs, on the other hand, are groups of people who come together to enjoy shared hobbies or interests like sports, arts, or reading. These clubs can be for anyone and provide a way for people to meet new friends and have lots of fun. Service groups are organizations that focus on helping others improving communities. People join these groups to volunteer and make a positive impact. For example, a Chinese resident who is part of an international fraternal organization attends an annual convention in Chicago. The event includes a series of social and community building activities that don't involve any payment or work. Number 5, participation by amateurs in events like musical, sports, or anything similar. Friends, amateurs can participate in events or contests related to music, sports, or some similar kind of activities as long as they are not being paid. Amateurs are people who take part in activities like sports, music, or other hobbies just for fun and not as a job or for money. They do these activities because either they enjoy them, but not because they are professionals who are getting paid for their skills. An amateur musician might join a community choir to sing at a festival for fun without getting paid. Or an amateur athlete could participate in a neighborhood soccer tournament while visiting the United States as long as it's just for fun and not for the prize money. Number 6, enrollment in a short recreational course. Friends, visitors on B-2 visa are allowed to take short classes just for fun, as long as these classes don't count towards a degree. A tourist, say from China or India, signs up for a 2-day pottery class or cooking class while vacationing in New Mexico. Now, this class is recreational and doesn't count towards any degree or professional certification. Number 7, volunteering. A B-2 visa holder is allowed to volunteer as long as it meets certain conditions. Number 1, the volunteer work should be truly unpaid and should not take a job that a paid worker would usually do. Number 2, volunteering is typically allowed only if it's for charity or a non-profit organization, such as helping at a food bank, animal shelter, or a community event. And number 3, you can't receive any financial benefits like stipends or discounts in exchange for volunteering. For example, a tourist on B-2 visa might volunteer at a community cleanup day or help out at a local shelter for a few hours without pay. Now, this type of volunteering is allowed and is considered a leisure activity, not employment. Now, friends, let's look at 2 things you must never do on a B-2 visa. Number 1, you must not engage in any paid work, whether it's online or in person. Unauthorized employment may result in number 1, visa revocation. So, it could lead to the revocation of your current B visa. Number 2, engaging in unauthorized work can make you inadmissible for future visas. And you might be temporarily or permanently barred from entering the United States in the future. And the second thing you must never do on a B-2 visa is overstaying. If you overstay your visa in the United States, it can have serious consequences for future travel. Depending on the length of the overstay, you may face challenges in obtaining a new visa, lose eligibility for certain visa programs, or even be barred from entering the United States for several years. Here's a quick breakdown of what can happen if you exceed your authorized stay. Number 1, if your overstay is less than 180 days. In that case, your visa becomes void and you'll need a new visa from your home country to return back to the United States. Returning is allowed, but getting a new visa will be harder as you'll need to prove you won't overstay again. Number 2, if you overstay on a visa waiver program that is beyond the 90-day limit, you lose the eligibility for the visa waiver program permanently. Future visits to the United States would require applying for a visa at a US embassy or consulate. And the third category would be unlawful presence of more than 180 days. So if your overstay is for more than 180 days, but almost up to 365 days, then it would result in a 3-year ban from re-entering the United States. And if you overstayed for more than 1 year, it could lead to a 10-year ban from re-entering the United States. And friends, no video on B-2 visa is complete without a quick recap of how to apply for a B-2 visa. Step number 1, check your passport validity. Ensure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended stay in the United States. Number 2, each person applying for a visa must have their own passport. Step number 2 is complete Form DS-160. Fill out the online non-immigrant visa application DS-160. Answer every question. Write none if a question doesn't apply to you. Incomplete forms will always delay the process. Friends, I have created a detailed document on how to fill out Form DS-160. Do check it out for invaluable tips. Step number 3, schedule an interview. Step number 4, prepare your application for the interview. Bring the DS-160 confirmation page, your passport, and any other required forms for your interview. Pay the visa application fee and attend the visa interview. Friends, during the interview, the consular officer will decide if you qualify for a visa based on your travel purpose and eligibility. The embassy will also take ink-free digital fingerprints at the same time. Friends, I have prepared a detailed video on B-2 visa interview and supporting documents you must carry to substantiate your answers. Do check it out. I promise it will be very helpful in your preparation. Step number 8, collect your passport and visa. Friends, if your visa is approved, the consular officer will notify after the interview. They will take your passport and will inform you when your passport and visa will be ready for pickup or will be delivered by post to your address. So friends, in conclusion, understanding the nuances of B-2 visa is crucial for anyone planning to travel to the United States for tourism or family visits. The B-2 visa allows for stays of up to 180 days, and you can engage in activities such as sightseeing, visiting friends and family, participating in social events, or volunteering. However, it's essential to respect the restrictions that come with it, particularly the prohibition against engaging in any paid work. Unauthorized employment can lead to serious consequences, including visa revocation and future inadmissibility. By adhering to these guidelines and ensuring compliance with visa regulations, you can enjoy your time in the United States without jeopardizing your ability to return in future. Friends, thank you so much for your time. If you found this video and this information helpful, please do consider subscribing and be sure to check out other videos on visa tips and share your questions in the comments below. I wish you all the very best for your upcoming visa interview and your travel to the United States. May your application be met with success and may you have a safe trip in the United States. And until next time, safe travels!